Hey everyone, this is Kat, and today we are going to discuss keeping a copacetic atmosphere in a guild, in primarily using World of Warcraft, but I assume it works the same with whatever guild or game you're playing. So, keeping a copacetic atmosphere in a guild is really hard sometimes, and it won't happen overnight. Now, in order to keep a copacetic atmosphere, you must first know what a copacetic atmosphere is. Is defined in Webster's dictionary as an excellent order. That is the definition. Now, what this means in way of running guilds in World of Warcraft or maybe other MMOs as well is that it's keeping your guild in order, minimal drama. No guild is without drama, and you're always going to find it, especially when you have a lot of people. Number 1, rules. A good guild must have a set of rules that are followed. These rules should be in a spot or pointed out right up front. You could have a Facebook page or a Facebook group, guild websites, or even a YouTube channel where your guild rules are posted. You may also post them in the guild information. This way everyone knows up front what the rules are in the guild. Number 2, consequences. You do not necessarily need to post the consequences anywhere, although some guilds do prefer to let people know up front what the consequences are to breaking the rules. The members need to know what these consequences are if they are different from most guilds. Most guilds will do demotions or removal from guild. If you have anything other than this, like demotion for a specific time frame as a consequence, then you should let the guild members know. This way, they are aware of the consequences as well as the rules. I find in guilds where I have let them know about consequences up front that the members have followed the rules better. Number 3, make sure the purpose of your guild is loud and clear when you are recruiting. This prevents any drama over the fact that you're not a raiding guild and people want to raid. This way they know up front what the purpose of your guild is, whether you're leveling, raiding, PvP, or a role-playing guild. People know what to expect out of your guild and whether your guild is right for them. Number 4, stick to the purpose of your guild. If you're a leveling guild, don't expect to do exceptionally well in a raiding setting. Instead, just focus on what your guild purpose is. This does not mean it is not okay to switch the purpose of your guild. However, if you do decide you no longer want to be a leveling guild, then make sure you let your members know, as this way they could easily find another guild more suiting to their needs, while you look for members who would be best suited for your guild. Number 5, be selective in both your members and your officers. You really need to make sure you pick the right members for your guild. If you're a leveling guild, you don't want a bunch of raiders expecting to raid. Now, the raider who wants to put an alt in the guild, sure, they can prove to be quite helpful. But you really don't want a bunch of raiding mains in a guild with a bunch of leveling mains. Officers should be those you know and trust to help you keep to the purpose of your guild. If you're a raiding guild, you might want to get a raid leader in there as an officer. Just make sure you can trust them first. Number 6, stay involved and stay active. I have seen all too often guilds fall apart because guild leaders stop logging in. With me, sure, I don't log in every day and play with my guild. I don't really need to. Instead, I log in once a week to my guild leader tunes and make sure that everything is going good. Guild bank, members are doing good. That's all I need to do because my guild tends to take care of itself. But I didn't get that way overnight. It takes work to get that kind of guild where you can stay off all week without worrying about whether an argument or drama will tear down the guild. Number 7, the final point I will be making, dealing with issues in a guild. If there's an issue within the guild, you should never call someone out in guild chat. It's embarrassing to them, which then makes them leave the guild because you just embarrass them. In turn, that can also make others leave the guild. Instead, try private messaging them to discuss what they did. You're not embarrassing them. Instead, they would in turn appreciate that. All the points I have made in this video can help keep a copacetic atmosphere in your guild. If you think I missed anything, please feel free to let me know in the comments. How do you keep a copacetic atmosphere in your guild? These are all tips and ideas that work for me. So, if you like my video, please feel free to hit like, subscribe, share, and I really hope y'all have a wonderful evening. And thank you once again for watching.